Targeting not only conservative voices, but also faith-led companies as well. You've seen it. Ahead, we're going to talk with one internationally recognized speaker who says some of these companies are being vilified for their Christian values. Meantime, today's cancel culture continues to go after conservative voices, but now also faith-led companies. You know about it. Businesses like ChickfilA, Hobby Lobby, Forever 21, and My Pillow being vilified for their faith values, some would say. Joining us now to discuss is Hillman, founder and president of Marketplace Leaders. He's also the author of this book, 31 Decrees of Blessings for Your Work Life. Panelists, Joe and Victoria standing by as well. It's good to see you. This is such a sensitive topic. I want to lead with just a prime example of these businesses leading with their faith in the fact that they're closed on Sundays. I think of places that I love like ChickfilA, and doing so that these families can spend time with each other and go to church on Sundays. And yet you still see this call for them to be canceled. Why is that? Do you see more, not just conservative voices, but now going after vilifying faith-led businesses?
Well, I think this is part of the culture we live in today, where our nation has gradually been moving further and further away from the foundations that have made our nation great. And so that part of the population reacts to any company that has Christian values. And I live in Atlanta, where Chick-fil-A is. I'm good friends with some of the founders, as well as Hobby Lobby, and Mike Lindell is a friend as well. And these are God-fearing people that just want to do the right thing and just want to really be a blessing to those that encounter their businesses.
Joe, is it coincidence that it's the conservative voices that are getting canceled, but the conservative voices that are also Christian?
No. The bottom line is this is all part of a pattern. This is not an accident. This is an effort to delegitimize Christianity and the values that underscore Christianity, such as honesty, faith, belief, cultural integrity, having systems in place that ensure honesty in the conduct of personal and business affairs. What the left doesn't like, and believe me, it's the radical left, which is running the country, running the culture, running the networks, running the news media. What they don't like are Christian values and Judeo-Christian values. And so what they do is they try to tear them down, they try to demean them, they try to delegitimize them. This is a cultural war, it's a civil war, and we're in it, and we're either going to win or we're going to lose.
And here's my suggestion for one way that we should be winning, and that is these state legislatures should get off their duff and pass laws that say thou shalt not discriminate against anybody on the basis of his political or religious beliefs. Now, believe it or not, the District of Columbia, which has one of the worst written constitutions in the history of the world, threw that in, not to protect Republicans or conservatives, trust me, because it was 30 years ago, but they have that clause in there to protect Democrats and liberals, and now it's time that state legislatures do that for all of us conservatives.
You know, Oz, it doesn't help with the pandemic that you have so many churches and synagogues, etc., cathedrals, for those folks in different areas, weren't able to even attend their church at this time, let alone the cancel culture that exists all at the same time.
Well, that's exactly right. And, you know, the Christian faith has never been attacked more than it has in this season. And in fact, we saw there in California where they went to the Supreme Court to protect their right to meet and worship, and they won that case. But, you know, we're in a tough environment, and it's a time for, you know, those in the faith community to stand up and just don't let them run over us. And we have to really set boundaries for what the culture is trying to do right now. So it's a real challenging time, and but it's also an opportunity for those who are followers of Christ to really model it, but also be, you know, gentle as doves, but wise as serpents, as the Bible says.
Yeah, let me point this one back to you, because you talked to me about Chick-fil-A. I told you I love Chick-fil-A, spicy chicken, supreme. That's my thing for lunch, baby. But I know you know these guys. Do you remember when everyone called to cancel Chick-fil-A, and then it went the complete opposite, where they flooded this place? Does cancel culture always work?
Oh gosh, that was a great case study, isn't it? Where those in the faith community got behind Chick-fil-A, and they had the most business they've ever had because they wanted to voice their concern about what was going on. And I know Dan Cathy, and what he was accused of was not true. And he ended up taking the gentleman who brought the case against him to a football game, I believe it was, and developed a relationship. And that guy said, well, this guy's nothing like what we've been saying he is. And I think that's the case sometimes, that we are wrongfully accused, and there needs to be bridge building to those that differ with us. And I saw that personally at Harvard a few years ago, where many came against us for having a Christian conference there, but we sat down with those who were opposed to us and simply talked to them to share with them what their concerns were, but also realized that we probably weren't going to agree on everything, but at least we could talk about it civilly.
Yeah. Well, you bring a great message. I'm out of time, but I just want to thank you for taking the time with us and our panelists with us today. Hillman joining us live. Panelists, of course, stick around.